Hi, this is Doug Gillespie from HydropoolHotTubs.com. This is our video on our second unique selling proposition, which is our double thermal shield insulation system. What I'm going to do is take you through how we do the double thermal shield system in 6 easy steps so you can kind of understand how we insulate our hot tubs. There's generally speaking 2 styles of insulation on the market right now on how to insulate your hot tub. The first, which we did about 15 years ago, was a full foam insulation. Generally speaking, they just flip the hot tub upside down and pour foam over top of the plumbing and over top of the shell and pretty much full foam the entire cabinet. Not a bad way of insulating, in fact, fairly energy efficient, but we found that there were some difficulties with regards to that. Very difficult. One of them is very difficult to access any of the plumbing if there's ever a problem. Number 2 is you have to compromise both the insulation integrity and the structural integrity of the hot tub if you ever have to fix anything. And number 3 is it's like putting your furnace of your house outside your house to heat your house. So essentially they put all their equipment, their plumbing and their pumps and their heater outside the insulation to heat their tub. The second type of insulation system out there is a dead air insulation system. And basically what they do is just insulate the cabinet. We also did that as well probably about 7 to 8 years ago, and it's actually, the idea is correct, but the execution is faulty. And one of the reasons, one of the things that we had problems with is that the plumbing had no support whatsoever. So really, 3 feet of pipe is about 15 pounds, so we're having quite a bit of leaks on the hot tub. Secondly, by insulating the cabinet, what they did was they created a complete dead air space with no circulation of air. So a motor needs to breathe, so we're having a lot of problems with motor overheating and tub overheating. So that brings us to today's technology, and this is a technology that has been developed over the last 35 years. We've been in business 35 years, and we really believe we have what I think is the best insulation system. So it's a series of steps that I'm going to bring you through on how we do that. There's 6 steps. Essentially, step number 1 is creating an insulated air pocket. And the way we do that is we wrap the plumbing with a polyfilm barrier, as you can see here. What that does is 2 things, actually 3 things. What that does is it supports the plumbing, okay, in place so that the heavy pipes have some support on top of our triple fastened high flow plumbing. So it does support our plumbing. The second thing it does is that it creates a dead air space here. And we all know the best insulator is air, similar to a double pane window. So it actually insulates inside this area. It traps the heat of the shell and traps the heat of the plumbing in the dead air space there. And the last thing it does is it allows us accessibility. You know, no manufactured hot tub is perfect, but if there's ever a problem, we can get at it because it's not full foamed. The next thing we do, step number 2, is we actually install a thermal blanket which basically wraps the hot tub. Now essentially how that works is we tuck it in underneath there and we staple it to the base of support on our hot tub. What this does is it further allows us to trap the heat off of the shell and off of the plumbing. You can see this is a reflective liner here. So this material is used in NASA spacesuits. It's used on any survival suit, okay, off of cruise ships or anything. Basically, people wrap their bodies and they prevent hypothermia by using the heat of their body. So essentially, what we do is we wrap that around the polyfilm barrier, right around the entire tub, staple it to it. That essentially creates the first air space and the first air pocket, again, reflecting the heat of the plumbing and the shell back into the hot tub. It also, again, remember, it allows us full accessibility into the plumbing if we ever have to get at it. The third step is basically what we're doing is we're creating a secondary air pocket. And you can see this tub here has the cabinet installed on it. So essentially what we do is, and as you can see, it has the full thermal wrap around the first tub, and it's hollow inside there, created that first air pocket. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to take that same thermal shield blanket that you see on the inside of the tub, and we're going to wrap the inside of the cabinet. Now what this does is creates the secondary air pocket or secondary insulation pocket. And what it's doing is essentially trapping the waste heat of the motor and reflecting it back into the tub. Now the nice thing about this is that a motor creates 1.5 kilowatts of heat. So you can imagine how hot this gets inside this area. So it's actually stapled to the inside of the cabinet, right around the whole entire cabinet. So creating that secondary airlock, trapping the waste heat of the motor. So that's step number 3. I'm going to leave you right now and we'll go to step number 4 in 2 seconds.